Hello everyone and welcome back. Today making my predictions for the 2024 edition of AEW's All Out. We'll start things off with a match for the AEW World Championship where the American Dragon Bryan Danielson, who's putting his title on the line, against Jack Perry. This match feels like an establishment match where we're going to establish the reign of Bryan Danielson and we're going to establish that Jack Perry's going to be in the mix here in this main top tier of the roster for years to come. And this is going to be a match we're going to look back on. And in this match, I believe Bryan Danielson will be retaining his AEW World Championship, defeating Jack Perry. With Bryan Danielson just having his Cinderella moment winning the title 2 weeks ago at All In, I don't think he lost the title in 2 weeks and he has done full-time wrestling is even a thought going into the show on Saturday. And I also think matches with Moxley are on the horizon, Darby Allin, which could be at Grand Slam or later. I think there's a slight chance we may get another Swerve match and even a clash with Hangman Adam Page. And I think majority of people believe that the last full-time match of Bryan Danielson's career will be happening in Tacoma at WrestleDream. So I think he'll be holding the title all the way till that show in October. So now on to match number 2. And that'll be for the AEW World Tag Team titles, where the Young Bucks will be putting their titles on the line against the Blackpool Combat Club's Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. With this match being kind of impromptu, kind of just piggybacking off of the Jack Perry and Bryan Danielson match, I think the Young Bucks will be defending their titles more often after the uproar about them not defending the titles, and I think this is going to be slightly us. We're going to establish teams here and there, and then we're going to see matches again, and I think the Bucks will escape with the tag team titles here on Saturday night. I think with the current state that AEW tag team division's in, we're going to start seeing teams start to get more and more established. I think there could be some kind of hierarchy where, like, if the Grizzly Young Veterans beat FTR, they're going to come over and then face the Young Bucks for the tag team titles, and we're going to start seeing more and more teams pop up and get into the mix to where they're getting more and more established. And I think the Bucks will be the ones at the top of the tag team division until we finally see that team who everyone thinks that can dethrone the Elite. So now on to our next match. And that'll be a Chicago street fight where we'll see Willow Nightingale take on Chris Statlander. When this match was originally for the CMLL Women's Championship, I thought this was a slam dunk that Willow Nightingale was going to win. But now with this being not for a title, I feel like there's more of a chance it can go either way. But I still believe that Willow Nightingale will be walking out the winner here on Saturday. I just look at how the landscape of the AEW Women's Division is currently set up, with Mariah May being the head of the Women's Division and Mercedes Moné being the TBS champion for now. I think Willow Nightingale with the win would seamlessly fit into a feud with any of these two. She can reignite her feud with Mercedes from before with how she lost the TBS championship, or she can go for the AEW Women's Championship with reigniting the finals of the Owen Hart Cup tournament. And I think with those two things just sitting out there in the open for us to see, I think that's the reason why Willow Nightingale will be getting the win on All Out. So now on to match number 4. And this will be a singles match where we'll see MJF take on Daniel Garcia. This match has me thinking of a lot of things. Number 1, is this the continuation of the feud, or are we getting multiple matches like we've seen in other MJF feuds in the past? Could MJF debut a new weapon to replace the ring? Or does MJF get a new person to be his muscle like Wardlow was back in the day? And it also has me thinking of all the stuff we've heard about Daniel Garcia. Will that play a role in how this match ends? Is that who becomes the winner? Is that going to play a role here? But I think with the way that Dynamite started and ended between these two, with MJF cracking Garcia over the head with a bottle, I think Daniel Garcia somehow, someway overcomes the odds and defeats MJF. I just think with a Garcia win here, this could add to MJF becoming more and more deranged. We can see some more crazy things coming out of this from him, to where he's flipping out and wondering, what do I have to do here to get back to the scumbag that I was, that won and was world champion? And I think this will also set Garcia up to where he can go into another title mix until ultimately reigniting his feud with MJF later down the road, or they could just redo this in New York City at Grand Slam in a couple weeks. But I feel like this weekend the underdog Daniel Garcia will be getting the win. So now on to our next match. And this will be a 4-way match for the AEW Continental Championship, where Kazuchika Okada will be defending his title against either Orange Cassidy or Brian Keith, Lance Archer or Mark Briscoe, or Konosuke Takeshita or the Beast Mordos. And I think Cassidy, Briscoe, and Takeshita will be those three that will be taking these spots. This match boils down to two things for me. Will Okada keep the title, or do they pull the trigger and have Okada lose the title but not be pinned, and Takeshita finally becomes a champion in AEW? But I feel like ultimately, with the stare down we saw when when the run-ins happened after the Fletcher match on Wednesday between Okada and Takeshita. I think Okada will be retaining the title, winning here, but I feel like the Takeshita one-on-one match is on the horizon. Well, I feel like, yes, this is Okada's match to lose now, but I think Konosuke Takeshita's right there to becoming a champion, and I think there's a way to do it where Takeshita wins, and then Okada's like, you didn't pin me, you pinned someone else and took my title, and then that's how they get to their one-on-one match. But I think Takeshita leveling either Cassidy or Briscoe, and Okada sneaking in and chucking Takeshita out and pinning the guy that Takeshita laid out, scooping up the scraps here, could easily be the way that they go for this match to eventually happen later down the road. So we'll see if that's how the Rainmaker's reign continues on Saturday night. So now on to match number 6 of the evening, and this will be for the TBS Championship, where we'll see Mercedes Moné defend her title against Hikaru Shida with Camille banned from ringside. This match feels to me like this is going to be a palate cleanser to what most people thought of the match 2 weeks ago, with Mercedes having a burner here with Shida, and I think Mercedes retains her TBS Championship here, defeating Hikaru Shida. With Camille being banned from ringside, I think this is even more adding to my thought of, hey, this is just a match to light it up, and hey, forget what you saw 2 weeks ago. If you thought that wasn't good, we're going to show you something phenomenal here. And I think that's what most of the Mercedes title reign should be, is those crazy matches left and right. And I still think there's a plethora of challengers waiting in the wings to light it up with Mercedes Moné. So now on to our co-main event of the evening for the AEW International Championship. Will Ospreay will be defending his title against Pac. I believe this match will be a barn burner, like most, if not all, Will Ospreay matches have been so far. And I think the Aerial Assassin will be retaining the International Championship here. I believe since Ospreay just won the title at All In, and with the emergence of Ricochet, I think that's where all signs are leading for these two to eventually lock horns for that International Championship, reigniting what they had in the past. And I also think Pac will be in the mix with the Trios Championships. We'll see how the Blackpool Combat Club kind of combination, or the PCC as I called them, how that gets played out and gets explained to us, and how that'll all work out between those three, and what could potentially be in the mix with Moxley coming into the group, being like, hey, you replaced me with this guy, what the hell? And I think the International Championship will continue to roll with the Aerial Assassin, Will Ospreay, after he defeats Pac on Saturday. So now on to our main event of the evening. In a lights-out, unsanctioned steel cage match, we'll see Swerve Strickland take on Hangman Adam Page. This is also the pay-per-view hype video short that'll be out tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, so come back and watch that, with all the crazy things these two have been through, leading into what's sure to be a hell of a steel cage match on Saturday night. And for this match, this boils down to who can channel their anger in the correct way to get the job done and get the win. And I also think this match kind of points us in a direction of what we'll be seeing for Wrestle Dream in October. And I think with the way things are kind of looking on screen, I think that some way Hangman Adam Page will win here. As we've seen in the past, the people who have messed with the other person's home in this feud have won the next match. And with Hangman lighting a house on fire on Wednesday night, leaving Swerve to be sulk and be pissed in the ring, banging his fist on the mat and blowing out a bracelet that may trigger some other people, I think this will lead to Swerve going too big, trying to do something dastardly and too crazy that'll ultimately backfire on him, giving the win to Hangman. I also think this could tell a very interesting story to where if these two ever lock horns again, if they ever have another match again, what's going to happen? Can these two even coexist on the same show? Will it just be like, here's Hangman's entrance, oh, here comes Swerve, here's Swerve, here comes Hangman, and they just keep going at it forever and ever? And I also think there could be some storytelling of the Swerve paying for what he did when he was a heel, now that he's a face, all this stuff coming back to him and him having to go through all of that to eventually just get back to zero and kind of being back on a level playing field again. So on this night in Hoffman Estates, I believe this new deranged Hangman Adam Page will teach us the new meaning of what cowboy shit is. So that'll do it for my predictions. Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Come back tomorrow at 9 a.m. for the short for the main event for Swerve and Hangman. Also, Boise State Broncos and Denver Broncos shorts will continue. So if you like this video, hit the like button. If you like what I'm doing on this channel and want to see more, hit that subscribe button. And as always, thanks for watching.